At Dane Court Grammar School in Kent, English teacher Carol Wheel uses wiki pages and discussion threads to help her Year 11 GCSE students study their poetry anthology.
The anthology is a huge tome. It's 28 poems, and they've got to know them inside out. They could be asked to talk about any four, and they've got to interrelate them as well, make relationships and interpret. That's hard for A-level students, never mind for GCSE. And for a teacher, the hard thing is how to get it in their heads.
To help her pupils prepare for their exams, Carol set up some secure wiki pages on the school server with background information about all the poems. But she found the most powerful feature was the discussion area, where pupils could exchange their own ideas. They call these whole-class online discussions Wiki Wars.
We use our personal opinions and the notes to war against each other. These are the comments from everyone so far. So Mariam's initial comment was, is the poem about love or hate? And then Bailey's commented saying, I believe the poem is about lack of love for another. The babysitter does not feel anything for the child, not even simple agape love. What do you think? And then Mariam's gone on, and then Mariam, and then now everyone's just getting involved in this. I'm going to chip into this now. I'm sending it to Mariam now because of what she's just said about... She said Kirsty is wrong, as she does feel a motherly love for the baby, and that's why this experience is so agonising for her. Yeah.
I'm replying...
Perhaps those really hot words. It's far more fluid, it's creative, and they're actually doing the thinking. I'm simply the facilitator. So from that point of view, the hands-on approach and the sheer fun approach, the informal side of it, means that there's a whole range of being collaborative. There are people who would never have spoken to somebody else in the classroom or even questioned them.
It's about whether it was a mother's fault that her son disappeared, and it's just started at the moment. But I'm going to try and argue with this person here.
It's about a mother losing her son, and the question that we're discussing is if the son of the mother is actually as good as she makes him out to be, because she actually glorifies him in this poem, but he left her. So could he have perhaps done something bad to make him leave?
Some students are wiki-warring about several poems at the same time.
Well, everyone's just ganging up on us because in babysitting, these three here are ganging up on us, and on digging, them two over there are just ganging on us, but I think we'll hold our own against them. In this poem, it's about how a lady is with babysitting a baby, and she doesn't love the baby, but they're saying she does have feelings for the baby, but I believe that she doesn't have feelings for the baby. She cares more about how she is doing than the baby.
So I was wiki-warring with Alex, and I noticed that he's pretty much accepted that I've beaten him in the wiki war because he's contradicted his earlier statement, saying that Healy's pen is better than his father's and grandfather's shovels, but then he's later said that they are equal, which I stated to him, so he's accepted that he's lost, really.
Tom is going for the digging against Alex, and I'm going for the field mouse with Bailey.
And we've been monitoring that while we've been attacking other people's poems. So
Alex just responded, so
better go and check that.
Is that digging?
The topics highlighted in purple are those under discussion, and there's been 60 views on the page that me and Alex are discussing, 13 replies, and Alex has just replied just now. I have not lost this wiki war. I believe you have not seriously read the poem and what it represents, as it is all about his admiration for his father and grandfather when he was young, and how now he's doing greater things than them. He's contradicted his previous statement. And I'm going to talk about how, yes, I agree with Alex about the memories of how he admires his father and grandfather when they were young, but I think there's an equal mentions of Heaney's pen and literature and his father and grandfather's shovel.
But you've got one little thing you've got to look at, the very second line, the squat pen rests snug as a gun. That simile, why do you think he's using the word gun, like a cannon? What's he doing that the shovel didn't do?
Attacking
What?
the English, and like I suppose he's bringing up the imagery of the IRA.
So do you think that Alex could be correct? I know you'd hate to admit it.
I don't like to admit it. I'm going to try and get out of it somehow.
I simply pointed out a simple simile he might want to look at that might prove you were right.
I'm winning this wiki war, so that's what matters.
You're going to win?
Yeah.
Come on.
Alex, you've already lost one.
Alex, I'm with you.
This one is about politics, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, about the
Easter
Irish.
1998, the Irish thing. How about you put in post a message or a subject? Post a message. Is this poem obviously political? And then we'll see if anybody else cups up it.
And over the other side of the room, this question soon gets a response.
I've just opened up another argument, so we're doing 3 at the moment, and I've opened up the argument against those doing difficult births. There's one of a religious interpretation of the resurrection of Jesus, a political interpretation of the Northern Ireland peace process, and one simply just of a nature interpretation of how a sheep is giving birth to a lamb.
3 replies, easy. We're not worried about spelling and punctuation, this thing.
I believe that this poem has 3 layers about the Easter and the rebirth of Christ, the peace treaty being signed at Belfast, and the birthing of the Lamb.
But why not just talk together as a class?
I think if you actually discuss it on the wiki page, it helps to everyone later, after the wiki war is finished, can read through the notes, pick up different people's opinions, and this helps them revise for exams.
When we did Katrine, me and Aston before, we got set the actual poem of Katrine, and then we did a wiki war on it, but I didn't understand it until after we had a wiki war on it, so it's quite useful because I didn't understand it at all.
You get to weigh up other people's opinions, and you kind of go into the poem into more depth if there's more of you.
At the end of the day, Carol looks through one of the wiki threads.
This one's got comments made the other day. 211, 212, 213, 213. Several people around the room are all discussing this one issue simultaneously. You couldn't get that in a class because in a classroom only one person can put their hand up at a time, and you can only just do speaking and listening that way. This way, everyone's got a voice, and you can see there's 90 responses on this one thing alone. And it's you can see a lot of flow of activity at 234, 246, etc. And then you find that they've gone out of my lesson because that ends at 2:35, and they're still at it somewhere else, and they're carrying on, and they've got loads of quotations in here. He says, "Right, Lydia, let's settle this," and he goes on, quotation, quotation, quotation all the way through, and he says at the end, "Yeah, just a few. Yeah, you got owned," and that is going on at 5:41 the same day. So obviously it's carrying on way beyond the classroom, and that wasn't set homework. That was simply because they had unfinished business.
So what are the benefits of using this technology?
The benefit is that afterwards they can go home, and in a few weeks' time when they've got their mock, they can then revise it at leisure, and they can see how the thought processes actually worked. They can then see the connections between other poems, connections they wouldn't have made. And they're like listening in to visual conversations. It was visual because they remember seeing it on the screen, and that had massive benefits because on average the boys went from a C to a grade A. 2 whole grades. They're managing to create something, and it's that creative process that's the difference. It's not simply evaluating or regurgitating knowledge, it's about you creating, and that's the difference between teaching of yesteryear and teaching of the millennium, the new millennium, because it's now making connections. Web 2 enables that. You couldn't do it any other way.